26. Let me turn my mask around. Woo! Okay. How y'all doing? Good morning. Good morning, y'all. Morning. My glasses is fogging up. It's foggy outside. How y'all doing? So I'm out for my morning walks, talks, and rants. Did y'all enjoy yesterday's show with King Judah? That was a good show. That was a good show. I enjoyed myself, and I hope y'all did as well, too. Good morning. We have two shows today, Ellen Margaretta Norton, and we have Donnell Eastman joining me as well. That'll be at 4 p.m., okay? So, today's morning walks and talks and rants. My city of South Carolina always does it, as to be expected. She is the official Republican nominee, and she won her primary runoffs, the Senate runoffs. So she's going to go up against Dr. Annie Andrews. So with that being said, you have two women, and we know how South Carolina will vote. The majority of them will vote red because this is a red state. Canada just gave a very stark warning, and they basically told Donald Trump to kiss his ass. The general premier over there. He told them to kiss their ass. Sure did. Let's see. Trump won't say where the beef is coming from. 30,000 pounds of Argentina beef recalled after being skipping inspection. That's what that's about. And looking at the cars go by, you guys know I had to stop here and give y'all this news and information. He's also threatening to tear down the Kennedy Center. See, it's all about vanity and looks for Donald Trump. Orange Piggy doesn't give a fuck about anybody but himself. He told y'all that when y'all voted for him, to the Trump voters, and the ones especially down here in South Carolina, in my state, the red state, there's really not much to talk about except the fact that y'all are transphobic, homophobic, queerphobic, misogynistic, and sexist, and y'all support a pedophile. There's really nothing much to talk about. So I know that your legislation, how it impacts me as a Black trans woman, it impacts me being in the LGBTQIA plus community because we're a marginalized group. Black people are a marginalized group. They don't want us to flourish and succeed and do well, and they are willing to burn this country down. And keep in mind, this is years worth of work and progress that we have fought and our people have suffered for and endured. And they just want it all to just go away. Stop talking about slavery. So when you have people like Master P out here saying that we need to stop harping on slavery, it's a negative thought or a negative impact. No, it isn't. It's actually empowering for us to know and understand the plight of our ancestors, what they've had to endure, so that people like us can be here, the next generation, millennials, Gen X, Gen Z. But see, Black rich celebrities, and some of them, like a Pharrell Williams, who's another, remember he said something that was tone deaf? If you are not equipped or educated to have the conversations, don't insert yourself into the arena. Don't insert yourself into the arena. Just be quiet. But if you are well equipped and you are doing the work for the people, and you are out here literally speaking up for your followers, your fan base, i.e. the next person I'm going to bring up, we lost a music pioneer. Dolly Parton passed away. She was 80 years old. And she was an advocate for the LGBTQ plus community. And in fact, proceedings of the single that Whitney Houston did, which became the biggest breakout hit ever, I Will Always Love You, she donated to charity. She helped Black people. She helped queer people. And that is the job of the artist, is to reflect the times. Dolly Parton, being a woman in that genre of music, country music, breaking barriers for other female artists. And not only that, but being an ally and an advocate for Black people, for queer people. Thank you, Dolly, for your services. Thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done for us. Thank you for the impact that you've left, the joy that you've brought to our hearts. And one thing I can say about her as well, too, is another reason why I love her even more is that she hated Trump. She hated Trump the same way I hate Trump. We all do. Like, literally, this motherfucker is crashing out saying he wants to tear down the Kennedy Center. That another president built, where awards was given, where people were honored for their service, their work, their dedication. You don't know anything about that because you had everything handed to you on a silver fucking platter, Orange Piggy. Orange Piggy, your ass should be sitting on a platter right now, literally, with an apple in your mouth. Literally. I told you that I was going to roast you every time you fucked up. And this time you fucked up big time. Talking about they're closing it down. You don't care about safety concerns. It's all about vanity for him. He's pissed because they took his name off. How the fuck does that sound? Trump Kennedy? No, the Kennedy Center. Colleges are cutting back on black studies at that due to Trump's DEI low enrollment. So their attacks on DEI continue. Speaking of attacks, they're attacking mail-in voting as well too. And I was watching Rick Wilson and Don Lemon. Rick Wilson hit the nail right on the head. This is Supreme Court ever, the majority 6. I'm not talking about the 3. I'm talking about the 6. Alito, Rob. The Supreme Court will wreck our election system without votes by mail. So it only makes sense. If our policies are failing, let's go on ahead and attack mail-in voting. Because I know that there are elderly people who can't stand in line long periods of time, like my grandmother, who's 82. She did mail-in voting back in 2024. And the previous election, she did mail-in voting. You don't do that. But see, cruelty is the point with this regime. This is not an administration. This is a regime. And he has surrounded himself with people who will coddle his corruption. But see what else is going on. Yes, Darlene Graham, the woman who said she didn't know anything about national security. You want to talk about DEI? You got hired based off of the strength of your brother. You have no experience like your brother. And you got hired there. And in my state of South Carolina, I'm going to keep showing y'all the reminder. Look up. America 250, right? Look at this. When has it ever been great? When has it ever been great? Speaking of South Carolina, we need the type of energy that Jamie Harrison, the former DNC chair, had when he went on with Will Cain on Fox News. First of all, he told him, y'all can lose my number, and rightfully so. So Will Cain, the racist Will Cain on that racist ass Fox News, got up there and basically was going toe-to-toe with Jamie Harrison. Baby, Jeremy Harrison did not back down, and rightfully so. That's the type of energy you have to have with racist, white supremacists, oligarchs, Nazis, and pedophiles. There, I said it. But see, y'all want to glaze over the shit. Y'all don't want to act as if it exists, but it is alive. It is loud and in your faces. You want to know how legislations impact you? Gender affirming care, all of these things. You can't really get that down here in South Carolina. No. Changing your gender marker to the correct one, you can't do that shit. Because South Carolina, you guys don't know about the Stoner Rebellion. and other things that have happened down here, I'm in the deep south. And I'm going to keep reminding y'all of that. It's limited resources on what LGBT people can do down here. We're not as progressive as in New York or Los Angeles. Now, I'm progressive. I'm a socialist. I'm a democratic socialist. One thing I believe in firmly and very adamantly is taxing the rich. People being able to afford childcare. People being able to afford their groceries, their gas. Farmers not having to suffer with this fucking mysterious beef that is about to come down here that has not been checked or anything. Our foods are not safe. They're poisoning our shit. Canada just gave a stark warning, and keep in mind, I'm in a red state. So if my shit goes off here, y'all know why. If I'm not live for a couple of days, y'all know why. Canada said that the gentleman premier over there, he said, oh, we're going to hit the red states hard. Whereas in Canada, red means something totally different. So you keep on attacking Ontario. And to the supporters that voted for Darlene Graham, yes, I got a text from Turbo Vote. I'm like, Republican runoffs, Republican primary runoffs. I don't give a fuck about that. Fuck Republicans. I fucking hate them. And I stand 10 toes down on that. And I know you shouldn't hate nobody, but how do you think they feel about us? Black trans people, LGBT people, any other marginalized group. How the fuck do you think they feel about us? They don't care. Until it's coming on their doorsteps, that's when they'll start to give a damn. So I say that to say this, let it all burn down. Let it all burn down. It's gonna have to come down sooner or later. Because your racism is expensive. And it's not only costing you. When Canada comes back with these tariffs and they start slapping us, because we had a great trade agreement. Donald Trump literally has turned our allies against us. And y'all can't say that I'm lying when y'all know that it's good and goddamn well true. Oh, calling him a Nazi, calling him a racist. No, he is all of those things. He's the grand wizard. Keep in mind, and I'm going to keep reminding you, that his father was caught at a Klan's meeting, a free-for-all in 1927. So it clearly lets you know where he stands. He doesn't give a fuck about Black lives. We may never know what happened with Nolan Wells. And I'm just going to keep it a buck. There's a cover-up going on. So sip on that tea. Whenever, and it's no coincidence that this year alone, damn near 23 Black people have been strung up and strange-fruited. Connect the dots. Look at the climate that we're in. Donald Trump has gave people permission to be bigots, to be racist, to be vile, disgusting pedophiles. And you have the Tate brothers out here trying to blame it on racism. No, it's not a race thing with y'all. But Andrew Tate is Black. I'm not crazy, don't look at me like I'm crazy. Andrew Tate is Black. But see, you have some Black conservatives who will not identify as that, though, or African American, like an Officer Tatum. Will not utter it. He couldn't do it when Stephen A. Smith had him and Gary Chambers Jr. debating on that platform. He just could not do it. They won't do it. They won't identify as Black. And then when you start to question their Blackness, that's when they get upset. Oh, you're saying I'm not Black? Remember Paris Denard? The one who thought that he could get away with grabbing a woman by the P-U-S-S? You know what? Yeah. He learned real quick that he did not have the same hems, that he did not touch the hems of the garment that Donald Trump is able to. That's an 80-year-old white man, rich with privilege, who stole money from the American people. Keep in mind that Rosie O'Donnell clocked his teeth. He stole from cancer research charities. Y'all have been conned, y'all have been duped. The Republican Party only gives a fuck about themselves. And that's why I say fuck them to infinity. I fucking hate you if you are a conservative and a Republican, and I'm not interested in having a fucking conversation with you. Next, I think I covered that. Yeah, the Supreme Court will step in the 2026 midterms if Donald Trump asks them to. So don't be surprised. My bet right now is you're not mad enough. Get out, check your registration, go to vote.gov, and find out if everything is in tip-top shape, because they have purged voters off of the rolls in 2024. They are doing every low, dirty, slimy, evil, conniving move to remain in power. And they allow him to continue to keep building on the ballroom. I told y'all what that ballroom is going to be used for. I told y'all that. So don't act surprised. Pedophiles are going to keep pedophiling. Racists are going to keep being racist. White supremacists are going to keep doing white supremacist shit. And at the end of the day, it's not going to benefit anybody but them. Whew. This is a good little workout. I didn't walk really yesterday. I walked to the store and that was it. But this is a good little workout. Today is my mommy's last day, y'all. We did get a few more things out of the house. We did. The salon area is complete in the house. I like it. I like it a lot. In fact, I'm going to try to do a show in there one day. But see, the thing is, the internet box, my internet box that I have, y'all go and check out that AT&T Internet Air box. You can take it with you wherever you go. But you just got to make sure that that box is sitting by a window and that it picks up good connection. So I literally have my own internet, and I love it. My brother has T-Mobile. He just like, I ain't fooling up with that. Because we tried to get AT&T for the house, and where we're at, we have no internet. But back to what I was saying, though. Like, yeah, we know the game plan. We know the election plot. Keep in mind that he fired 3 federal election commissioner workers. What do you think he's planning to do? He's going to replace them. The same way when Pam Bondi was fired and let go, who did he replace her with? Todd Blanche. And what you're seeing right now is mediocre, unqualified white men in power. That's what you're seeing. Not just that, but just think about it. If Canada cuts power to majority red states down here in the United States, what the fuck do you think that's going to impact? Businesses, everything. We have children down here. But see, obviously, these that voted against their own goddamn interests don't give a fuck about their kids. They don't. And at the end of the day, the ones who are benefiting from this are the 1%. The haves. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Peter Thiel, who's, by the way, fled the country. Who's another? Mark Zuckerberg, Donald Trump, Don and Eric, all of them are benefiting from this. And they're stealing from us, the hardworking people. So let him declare a national emergency. And the black people, we're not all on the united front because y'all are still hung up on trans people and who's DL, who's not DL, or that's sus, that's SD. Yeah. Guess what, goddammit? Your rights are being taken away from you. But see, y'all don't give a fuck about that shit. What y'all care about is, like I said, who's DL? Who's EL? None of the sons. Who's this? That's what y'all are focused on. When we need to be focusing on the bigger picture here is that we have a whole fucking fascist in the White House. You can't make this shit up. If I tried. And to the agriculture, Brooke, what's her name, Brooke? Stop playing. That's what you. For the farmers that overwhelmingly, because 7 billion Americans vote for Donald Trump. How do those eggs taste for you now, bitch? How's your harvest going? How's your crops? School bus. I'm back. But yes, like I was saying though, cruelty is the point. And back to Hakeem Jeffries. Let me touch on Hakeem Jeffries. Yes, you're going to have people that's going to go to the other side of the aisle and talk to them, but Republicans are not interested in that. They're not interested in that. They want full, total control. What part of that do some people not understand? And at the end of the day, if it was me and I was a politician, I wouldn't meet with Jared Kushner. And since you said you're going to fucking all of them are held accountable, including his ass and his father, Charles Kushner, that Cory Booker sworn in. We don't need to be reaching across the aisle. These are not the type of Republicans where you can reach across the aisle with them. So hell yeah, I'm in a tizzy about it. I've been saying that Hakeem Jeffries been moving funny. And a lot of people just turn the blind eye to it. I be saying stuff all the time and giving warnings and hints here or there. I never get the credit for it. That's one. And two, people just glaze right the fuck over. Glaze right the fuck over. But see, y'all gonna have to learn that sugar, that fat, what is it? You don't believe that fat meat is greasy. That's how it goes. See, I'm from the South. That's a saying we have. You don't believe that fat meat is greasy, but you're gonna learn today. But your ass gonna learn today. I know after this, I'm gonna go take a shower, crawl back in the bed. I have 2 shows today. And I always try to rest up, you know, get my energy. Boy. But yeah, we know the game plan. The game plan is he's tampering with the 2026 midterms. That's the game plan. So to anybody saying, I don't know how we got here, thank white America for that. Like I said, the majority of them overwhelmingly voted for him. And you have Darlene Graham, who basically was sworn in because of the strength of her brother. So y'all want to talk about DEI hires? Let's talk about a Nepo hire. She's literally a Nepo hire. She was hired based off of the strength of her brother. Has no experience in Senate and in anything. So you're going to see a lot of Mickey Mouse ass, wicky wacky, out of the woodworks motherfuckers that Donald Trump keep putting out here in our faces. That's what you're going to see. So buckle up, because this is going to be a very interesting midterms. Like I said, check your voter registration. They are going to try to restrict mail-in voting. The Supreme Court just did that for now. One minute they'll give you a win, the next they'll give Donald Trump most of the wins because this man has immunity. So he can do whatever he wants to do, go after whoever he wants to go after. The same way in the military, they want to give this man a life sentence because he said that Donald Trump needs to be impeached. They're pushing back against their critics. Keep in mind, at the beginning of mid part of this year, they locked up Don Lemon. We are not in the United States of America anymore. This is Germany, the 1930s, and this is North Korea. We are literally annexed off. Nobody is fucking with the United States other than our adversaries. And it just pisses me off. That's why I do my morning and exercise, because it literally prevents me from going out here and literally punching one of these fuckers in the face. That's how I feel about it. I'm ready to revolt. But you got to take that energy and prepare yourself for what's about to come. And I would suggest everybody do the same. Because when the revolution happens, you better be ready to rock. You better be ready to blow. And that's what the fuck I'm talking about. Anybody who wants to stay on the plantation, i.e. Amir Odom, Officer Tatum, and his white wife, who he thought was so precious, she jumped her ass up in the conversation. Sis, you should have stayed the fuck out of it. But he brought you in it. When you become racist and you start attacking other black creators, that's where it becomes a problem. So, it is what it is. They don't give a fuck. We don't give a fuck. When the revolution happens, oh well. So go ahead and declare a national emergency. Go ahead and declare a national emergency. Fuck around and find out. Oh, and did y'all see that Iran put a bounty out on Barron Trump? So Donnie, that should be your worry right now. And you want to take your bitch ass and go hide in the back of a catering truck. Don't be scared. You popped all that shit about Iran. Don't be scared. Shit. Rightfully so. One second, y'all. And we're back. Yeah. And until people deal with their underlying prejudice that they have towards other marginalized groups, i.e. the diaspora war of who's identifying as foundational Black American and ADOS, and listen, I identify as just a Black American. Period. I'm Black. I don't get into all of those, I'm a part of the ADOS, I'm a part of the FBA, the diaspora wars, I don't get into that. Let me touch on Miss 4 Million Reasons for a minute. What I believe she did was doing the same thing that Donald Trump, Orange Piggy, is doing, and that's divide and conquer. Because it really got Black people stirred up. But see, there has always been a sort of anti-Blackness from Nigerian Americans to Black Americans born here in the United States. There's always been an anti-Blackness against Haitian Americans towards Black Americans. And some of them voted for Donald Trump. I'm learning more and more each day. The revelations are coming out. And I said in 2026 that I would be checking people's political affiliation, their ideologies. I would be doing background checks. Tell me why. I've seen some people unfollow me on Instagram. I guess they're inactive or they've been watching my political stance to understand that I'm a part of the DSA. But just like Angie Dixon said, I don't identify with half of the shit that they do. We don't need to be sitting down with a Hassan Piker. And to anybody out here saying that, oh, we need to critique Jasmine Crockett. Jasmine Crockett has been boots on the ground. You don't need cowards like Hakeem Jeffries, who's sitting down with Jared Kushner, who is responsible for the shit that's going on in Gaza and is getting rich off of it. Real estate. So as far as reaching across the aisle, and the reason why I turned my camera off is because that nice lady back there that y'all saw, and I wore nice loosely, because I spoke to her one morning. She didn't say anything back. She just looked. One morning she spoke. So some people are not on their rocker. Older people, older black people down here. Some of them are fucking prejudiced. And I don't want to jump the gun. I don't want to jump the conclusion. But like I said, I told you that I was going to match energy. Because in law, she treated me being looked at as if you are a science experiment. You respect, you have to give respect in this world. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That means respect the person's pronouns, respect their gender identity. Because let's in this situation. But see, this is dangerous even to biological women. And T.S. Addison said it brilliantly, that transphobia impacts all women, trans and biological. It's very dangerous. It's not only transphobia, it's black women that are taking over the WNBA. So it's misogynoir as well, too. Y'all are throwing toys on the basketball court. That's assault. And it's degrading. But there's a place in hell for all of these motherfuckers who are misogynists, who are chauvinists. There's a special place in hell for all of them. Y'all will not prosper, y'all will not get far. Since y'all love to bring God into it, my daddy, y'all love to bring God into it. God wouldn't be happy seeing all of the shit that's going on right now. That y'all are reelected for a second term, a 34-time convicted felon who is robbing us blind. But see, y'all don't want to have that conversation. What about Biden? What about him? He did an outstanding job as president. And yes, I was critical of some of the things that he did. Some of the things that my girl Kamala did. But overall, outstanding. And while y'all are so fixated on Kamala and Jasmine and blaming these two black women who were trying to help you, you should be focused on Orange Piggy. Because November, in the blink of an eye, will be before you know it, November 3rd, which is the number and the date that Republicans fear the most. The question is, what the fuck are you going to do? Are you going to vote? And at this point, you have people believing that their vote doesn't count. You have some people not trusting of both parties. They're saying that both sides are two sides of the same coin. When you harder for the ones that are out here like an Angie Dixon, like a Deja Fox, like a Zoran. And Zoran, I'm going to say this. Don't be pushing back for Hakeem Jeffries, okay? Because, like I said, if it was me and I was a politician, but I'm not, I wouldn't have meted with Jared Kushner. So what do you word? You said you're going to make sure that they're all held accountable if you take back the House, which I doubt it, because it's going to be a January 6th part 2. I can feel it coming. Don't say I didn't warn you, because I did. On August 26th at 7:16 a.m. in the morning, I warned you. And you can go back and you can watch this replay, share it. Make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the new subscribers. Thank you. Welcome in as you're coming in. But don't say I didn't warn you. Because why is this man going through all of this hell to make it difficult for people to vote? To gerrymander, which Republicans have already been doing for years. To eliminate predominantly black districts. To mess with mail-in voting, which he votes by mail. Let's see what else are they doing. The Federal Election Commissioner workers fired. Let's see. We're going to bring in our own election monitors. All of this shit because he know he fucked up big time. That's why. So everything that he's doing is to keep himself in power. That's why. And the only person who's benefiting from this are the Republicans. It's a score. It's a win for them. So what they're going to do, they're also talking about sending ICE agents to the polls to intimidate voters. That's intimidation, voter intimidation. You can't do that. But this is what authoritarianism looks like. When you can basically indoctrinate a group of people to believe the things that you put out there. Donald Trump can say that the sky is green. And the sky is clearly kind of gray right now. It's like a gray-blue color. We see reality. They don't see reality. And it's the same thing even with, like, Jim Jones. Jim Jones indoctrinated his people at the People's Temple. And I told y'all this story in one of my previous lives. Like, how they would basically, he would basically use, and you can't make this stuff up, chicken livers. So people will believe that he has some sort of a magical superpower. That's what he had his people believing. We can't make that up. Good morning. So that's indoctrination. You have the dismantling of the Department of Education, Linda McMahon. And now they're saying instead of giving real teachers jobs, they want to let AI do it. There's nothing better than the old school feeling of sitting in a desk in a classroom and allowing your teacher to educate you. I'd do anything to go back to school, but I chose a different career path. I said after that, after I graduated, from high school, I said, let me take another direction and get to something else, which was media, which was marketing. So, good morning. It's important to understand what they're doing. The dismantling of the Department of Education. The dismantling of everything. Donald Trump loves the poorly educated. So I'll conclude there. And I will see you later, Fashion Dolls. You have 2 shows today. You'll be getting 2 shows, one at 3 and then one at 4. But just a few things to think about, food for thought. So I will see y'all then, Fashion Dolls. Take care.